Hello everyone and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. Today I'm checking out a product from Vietnam. This is Simply Food with their Bún Bò Huế. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these reviews. So yeah, this is a new one for me in the instant noodle world. I've had Bún Bò Huế from restaurants before. I really like it. And since I was craving it recently, I thought maybe it was time to check out an instant version I had bought a little while back. If you're unfamiliar with this dish, it is a Vietnamese spicy beef or pork-based soup with rice noodles. Typically, it is loaded with sliced beef and sausage and lots of herb flavor. And while you may think it's similar to pho, Bún Bò Huế is a spicier soup with a strong lemongrass hit. It all comes together into a rich and flavorful dish. Since this is an import product from Vietnam, I'm sorry to say there is no meat in it, but I'm hoping the artificial flavor will be good enough. We've had some great artificial meat flavors on this channel before. Maybe this will be one of them. I bought this bowl for $2 at yamibuy.com. Not bad considering the size of it. You can also find this in Asian grocery stores that stock Simply Foods products. Alright, the sodium count for this bowl is 1,650 milligrams. Not terrible for a bowl of noodles this size. So let's open this up and take a look inside. Okay, so first off, this came with one of those flimsy little folding plastic forks. These are completely worthless. Yeah, I'm not going to be using this. We've got a bag of these super thin rice noodles, which the packaging says are premium Huế style noodles, but these are a lot thinner than what I've eaten in Vietnamese restaurants here in America. Not to mention thinner than pictures of supposedly authentic Bún Bò Huế I've seen online. So I can't say for certain if these are authentic to what you would get in Vietnam, but here they are. I'm a little skeptical, but I'm happy to admit if I'm wrong. These are listed as 100% premium rice noodles on the label. And oh look, they gave themselves 5 stars too. That's nice. We've also got a powdered seasoning packet, a liquid seasoning packet, and some dried vegetables and herbs. Between the powder and the liquid, you've got a lot of ingredients like artificial beef and shrimp flavoring, onion, pepper, garlic, ginger, and spices like star anise, cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon. And then in the vegetable packet, we've got basil, scallion, cilantro, lemongrass, and little tiny tapioca balls, I guess to add some texture. It's a new one for me. I've never seen tapioca balls in instant noodles before. So let's assemble this now and get it cooked. Noodles go in first. Super thin and flimsy. And they're everywhere. Alright, now that I've jammed the noodles in there, time for the powder. Alright, powder smells alright. Definitely got a whiff of that shrimp flavor and some of the spices. Not bad. Okay. The liquid's pretty pungent. Wow. I'm hoping that adding the water takes some of that edge off, because that's very unpleasant. Tastes better than it smells. I'll give it that. And now the dried vegetables. It's got kind of a weird fishy undertone to it. I would have thought I would smell the lemongrass, but I don't. Alright, this is ready to go. We steep this in boiling water for 5 minutes. I will be right back. Alright, here's the finished product. Let's give it a good stir. Make sure the paste is completely dissolved. You know, I gotta say, as someone who really loves the smell of Vietnamese food, the spices in this just smell somehow off to me. Like it's a very strong odor of, I want to say basil and star anise, and not much else. The broth does look reasonably rich. Lots of herbs in here, that's always good. Yeah, let's go in for a taste. Okay, let's start the review talking about these so-called premium whey noodles. These don't appear to be anything other than super thin, ordinary vermicelli rice noodles. I don't think they're very good, and it's not because I don't like vermicelli in general. I do, but these are weirdly bitey. They've got kind of a strange aftertaste. Not a pleasant experience at all. Like, I don't know how something so thin and fragile can also be this kind of oddly chewy. And to top it all off, they look nothing like the noodles on the lid. Yeah, so here, I just fished the lid out of the trash. Take a look. Now, the noodles are a little hidden, but you can see them. These look like thick, hearty rice noodles sitting behind the pile of beef and herbs and onions. That's not what this is. Like, I'm looking at these, I'm looking at the lid, I feel bamboozled. Hornswoggled, even. The package said to steep them 3 to 5 minutes. I did 5 minutes because rice noodles generally need all the hydration they can get, and these still are brittle and underdone. Maybe a longer steep would yield better results, but these are a 2 out of 10. Not a fan. As far as the spice level on this, not terrible. It feels pretty tame compared to what I've had from restaurants. And if you still buy this after what I'm about to say in the rest of this review and you want it to be spicier, you're going to have to add some sriracha or something to it. 2.5 out of 10 for spiciness. And so the overall flavor, I'm going to start by saying I don't like this at all. Putting aside the questionable noodle quality, that strong anise and basil flavor that I smelled earlier is all that I taste in this broth. Any subtleties coming from the other spices are obliterated. This should have a strong beefy lemongrass flavor, especially considering it has actual pieces of lemongrass in it, but none of that is coming through. It is pretty mild from both a beef and a lemongrass flavor somehow. And speaking of these pieces of lemongrass, they are completely inedible. They're not minced fine enough to be easily eaten. They didn't rehydrate really at all, so they're not tender. And even if you wanted to eat around them, you can't really fish them out of here. My very first bite, I picked one up by accident, and it's like chewing on a toothpick. While I appreciate the authenticity of actual pieces of lemongrass in here instead of a powder or oil form, they are way too fibrous to eat. And then we've got these little balls of tapioca. These are flavorless goop. There's no textural value here. They're doing absolutely nothing. The rest of the dried ingredients, like the green onion, are okay, but they're not enough to save this. Like, I'm so disappointed in this. This doesn't taste remotely similar to any Bún Bò Huế I've ever eaten in my life. But even if I'm judging it on its own merits as something that's not Bún Bò Huế, it fails. It's not spicy enough. The aromatics are unbalanced and unpleasant. The lemongrass is literally inedible, and the noodles are shit. This is a 1 out of 10 for me overall. Yeah, you're going to see this on my bottom list the next time I publish one. So look, let me issue a disclaimer here. Maybe I got a bad batch of this, but all I can say is that this particular bowl is a complete and utter failure. And look, I'm not Vietnamese. I've only ever eaten Bún Bò Huế in American Vietnamese restaurants, so forgive me if this is what it's supposed to be and I'm just not into it. But based on my own experience here, I would not recommend this at all. Spend the extra money and order Bún Bò Huế from an actual nearby restaurant if you're craving it, because this instant version does not cut it. And that way you're supporting a local small business too. This is going to be one of the few times I toss something in the trash after filming. There is nothing here for me to salvage. So if you've had this product before, I'd love to know what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, maybe I got a bad batch. If you've had other products from Simply Food that you can recommend that are better than this, let me know, and maybe I'll give them a try. But in the absence of a recommendation from you viewers, I'm not going to be buying any of their other stuff anytime soon. So with that, it is time to go find something else to eat for lunch, and hopefully I'll see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey. All right, away with you.